Happy New Year guys, happy 2026. Welcome back to a fresh start of the year. I know I posted a video 2 weeks ago, that was in 2026. That was actually filmed during Christmas. So this is actually the first time we are seeing each other in 2026. Now being a new year, I was thinking we could show you our home, a little bit of updates on what we have been up to in the house as well. You may have seen some snippets in the previous videos around our home, but I think this would be like a good base for us to start off the year with. I think it'll be a good anchor for us, kind of like remembering where you first meet a friend. So I would say the interior of our home has mostly been styled by Geraldine. I would say 80 to 20%, where 20% is of me using it.
And Luna.
And Luna as well. Geraldine will be the one helping us out today with the introduction because she's the passionate one and she knows all the pieces.
Where everything's bought by me, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome to our entryway. Here we have our sideboard. This is the first thing you see when you come in the house. We keep all our shoes here, everything that you need to grab and go on the way out. And instead of doing like the conventional like home walkthrough, we thought it'd be nice if we highlighted some of our favorite pieces in the house or the most asked pieces. One of it being these shoe cabinets. So I think it's actually meant to be a sideboard, but because of the size and it has a lot of shelving inside, so it was sufficient shoe storage space for us compared to the conventional sideboards you would see in the market. This area on top here, one of my favorite is this floss spun T2 light. So it is thrifted with a little bit of scuffs, but I'm completely okay with that. And I think the unique thing about this one is that even though it's still in the market, most of them are actually circular. But this exact piece that we managed to find is an oval-shaped one, so that's kind of like a limited design. Over the years, this space has transformed quite a bit. The mirror used to be like a gold-framed mirror, but recently we found this walnut one with a little bit of this bullnose edge. And the little trays, we changed them out here and there to contain all our little knickknacks, our sunglasses, our keys, our cards, and a little bit of Vincent's cologne. And right here, this is one of my latest purchase. It's actually a teak coat rack, but no coats are being hung here. This is actually meant to contain all our bike gear. So because I just recently got into biking with Vincent, so now it completely makes sense for us to have it very accessible as compared to being in a bedroom previously. Then it was a little bit of like a bit too far from the door. This coat rack is from Scantique, so I think it was quite challenging finding something suitable to fit into this nook here. And also we had some requirements, like we wanted to hang our jacket and also be able to fit our helmets and our gloves, our bags. So the size of this and how it kind of still fit in with the rest of the space was perfect. And if we move towards our main door, so we kept it intentionally very clean and empty because this yellow wall here is kind of like the iconic wall that started everything that we have today in terms of Ochre Home's aesthetic, in terms of our love for yellow and the recognizability of this corner. So yeah, it's the first visual statement you would see when you come in through the main door. And as we walk from the main door, this is my little coffee corner. So my Nespresso machine is here, my capsules, and I go to this almost every day. So this little cabinet is quite versatile. It didn't used to be against this wall. It used to be back of a sofa kind of sideboard. So this cabinet is meant to keep our little knickknacks like Vincent's camera gear and my entire candle and incense collection. So this cabinet is quite versatile and is intended to be able to shift to different parts of the house depending on wherever I need it. And from here, you'll see the entire span of our living room. Nah, come here. Hey, over here. Come over here. So our TV wall is meant to be a little bit like a gallery wall. I'm still building up the art pieces and posters over here. And to bring your attention to this little pine cone light, we actually hand carried this back from Canada. It was from a vintage store and I fell in love with how structural it looked. So we carried this back and now it's our wall lamp. Our TV cabinet, we got it online. It's a frequently asked piece, but there's nothing much to shout about it except for its impeccable quality that has lasted us for 6 years now. And this is Vincent's little indoor plant corner because there's no more space outdoors. So these are some of his more delicate ones that we decided to keep indoors, but because this corner doesn't really get much natural light, so he actually installed a grow light on top. This used to be our track spotlights, but we have since removed all of them because no big lights and no white lights are allowed in the house, and we realized about 2 years in we actually didn't turn them on at all, so we replaced them. This beautiful lamp here is actually also thrifted locally. So what I heard from this private collector is that it used to be from a boutique hotel in Singapore that has since closed down, and only a limited number of pieces are circulating in Singapore, and we managed to snag one, so I'm really lucky. Above it is our Vitra ball clock, and a funny story is that cuckoo bird actually flew into the house and perched itself right on this clock. Of all objects in the house, on this clock, and it stayed there comfortably for quite a long while. So here is our favorite chair in the house, both me, Vincent and Luna's favorite chair. So this is the famous Eames lounge chair, and well, it's not cheap to be honest, but we didn't get this straight away when we moved in. It is a very hefty investment, but after we tried different types of seating in the house, we were exploring different types of armchairs with a high back because Vincent's a little bit taller. We landed on this as the most comfortable one, and it made sense aesthetically in the house as well. And above the Eames chair is our Floss Arco. So it's also thrifted from actually an architecture professor, so we got it at half the price of its original. Very statement, very large, and the bigger the better, so I really love this piece. Our living room is actually very open concept, and most sofas you would see in a lot of apartments are leaning against a wall, but we chose to have this floating in the middle, which I think creates this very nice openness and connectedness in the entire living to dining area. Our sofa is commune. We actually thrifted it off Carousel as well from an expat family, so it's already 8 years old now. And this armchair here, a Carl Hansen safari chair. So it's a limited edition piece that they did in collaboration with Danish textile company Quadrat. So I think this beautiful mustard color is no longer in production anymore. We didn't want like a matchy sofa and poof, so this one's another thrifted poof from Hay, from Carousel. And we like to sit on it like a beanbag when we are eating, or when Vincent's using the keyboard on this 1960s Danish coffee table from Kopan. I like its size, its height is kind of nice for eating off as well, and it has this little shelf underneath for us to store some of our stuff. This portable Louis Poulsen Pentella is one of the nicest additions to the living room. I like that it's movable, and of course the yellow fits the house so well. Our sofa end table is actually this butterfly stool by Sori Yanagi, and Vince actually hand carried this back from Tokyo. I really like its shape, and it's a very classic design to have. This is another one of my favorites. If you can't tell what it is, it's actually a stool. So it's a fortune cookie looking stool. I have no idea what brand it is, but I actually found it for a steal on Carousel as usual. Carousel is my toxic hobby. Here it is looking like a decorative art sculpture in the house, but yet functional as a seating as well. From our living area, as we walk to the bedrooms, you would pass this little study corner or office nook. And I really love this because it faces the side of our balcony, so it kind of gives you a bit of natural light coming in. This is a kidney bean table from Noden, also a Danish vintage piece. I really love how organic its shape is because it kind of fits into this corner without it looking too boxy. And on top of this, our main source of lighting for the study is yet another Louis Poulsen Pentella, but this time round the 40 cm table lamp, also a vintage one with a similar patina as the floor lamp. So it has this very cute old school light switch once again. All is gold. Our office chair of choice is this Carl Hansen wishbone chair, which I actually won from a questionnaire lucky draw. And framing the entire office is this tall china bookcase from Kopan. Also another, I think, 1960s Danish piece by Vincent. So we could shift the shelf heights accordingly to fit different heights of objects. So this stores all my little collection of little knickknacks, so some little displays from our travels. This is a brass swan from Carousel, our Eames skateboard. We don't skate, but it's nice to be on display anyways. I have some little miniatures here. These are all by another Danish brand called Mylag. This is a kitchen scene, very delicate. They are all enamel. And of course we have June and Belle, our previous doggies. And all our art books, positivity, personality books. Here, how I store my iPad and laptop is this another thrifted magazine rack. I think it's AYTM, also from Carousel. 2 out of these 3 devices are not even working anymore. And as we look out, we'll see the balcony. And from the office, we would walk into the art room, or we also call it the work room, and you would pass by this wall that's actually my first ever painted mural for the house and in my career. I'm dying to change it, but I just haven't found the time. So this is my studio. It is a lot more colorful than the rest of the house, so all the vibrancy and colors are all contained here. It's quite empty at the moment because once I start doing my artwork, my easel and the canvases and materials will all be out here, so I need some space. Otherwise, on a normal day when no art making is happening, then it would be like a workout room. So you'd see a little bit of Vincent's workout equipment lying around. And this is actually a foldable single bed. I have all my past old artworks here, collection of postcards, little hanging mobile, camera gear, scrolls from my uni days, and behind these curtains are all our things that I do not want you to see, but mostly equipment and a lot of storage. There's a little bit of a recess under the windows in all our bedrooms, and we didn't want to have too much built in, so I actually used like baskets for our bag storage. This stool here doubles as like another table for us to keep little knickknacks, so you'd see a lot of my little lamp collection. They are all thrifted as well, so these are vintage floss lamps that I have no idea what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe I would sell them. And this lamp above the camera fridge is actually another thrifted Artemide table lamp. Condition's not great, but as long as I don't fiddle with it too much, it actually looks perfect over here. And more of my thrifted lamp collection. They are all either space age telescopic lamps or vintage IKEA lamps here that I have no idea what to do with once again, but I may eventually collect enough to maybe sell them. So this chair is where I nurse my creative block, in this colourful chair in a corner. Over here I actually test painted some wall paint to see how it looks like. So this room is like a room of experimentation. The instruments are Vincent's, and as you lead your eye upward, that's our AC that I intentionally tried to match the colour to the room to have it a little bit fun, so it's a lime green fabric. And from the art room is our master bedroom next, or it's actually Luna's room. Nah, come! Hey, up! This is where Luna sleeps every night with us. As we walk into this room, the first thing you'd see is this very imposing Monstera plant. It actually started off as a small little pot about this size when we first moved in. We propped it up on a stool over here, and he has since grown into this massive plant in the past 6 years, and we didn't bear to move him because it's been proven that the conditions here seem to be pretty good for him. So we left it here, and it is our pride and joy. So the bedroom feels a little bit darker than the rest of the house. I think with the dark wood and a lot of these terracotta burgundy colors coming through from the rug. This basket wall above the bed head was something I put together after maybe 2 years of staying in. So we wanted to fill it up with some organic materials, and we collected these baskets from various places, mainly in Malacca, and I composed them to form this shape up here. A fun fact is that our entire bed set with the 2 bedside tables were actually also thrifted from Carousel. And the favorite corner of the room for me is here because there's a little bit of space. So as I walk out from the walk-in wardrobe, I get to check myself out in the full-length mirror. And this vanity here is also vintage Danish from Kopan, and it's my favorite piece in the bedroom because I finally get to sit down and do my makeup, do my skincare and hair care routine. Previously, I was actually just standing in front of a chest of drawers, so this is a huge upgrade for me. On top of the vanity, we have this Ochre 1A, which is one of the earlier paper lamps that I got. This frame up here is a piece that I painted for Ladera, and we felt that was too wasted to throw away, so actually salvaged bits of it and framed it up here. So when we look at it, we think about our first snowboarding experience last year in Japan. My vanity chair is also another thrifted piece from AA Furniture. I think it used to be a classroom chair in Japan. Another thrifted side table, this is the Cartel Componibili. It was white, but now it's already off-white because it's old, but it stores like all our Dyson accessories and little drawstring bags. So here we are in our dining room, and because of the space we have in this house, we wanted a very grand dining set. So this is a 2.1 meter live edge walnut table from Table Guide. It's lasted us a good 6 years now, and even with the little bits of scratches, I don't think it's super visible, or in fact it actually adds some character to the piece of wood and a little bit of story to this table being with us. The chairs are a set of 6 1970s Kasala Obo from Sid chairs. They're actually plywood, and I got them from AA Furniture in Singapore. They do Japanese vintage pieces, and I think I was really lucky to get a good set of 6. In our dining, you'll notice we don't really have big lights as well, so the lighting we use is mainly from all these lamps that you see in the frame. So this one's a Lumiere shade linen pendant from Bali. At the back here, we have another Gifu paper lamp from AA Furniture once again. And in addition to the set of 6, we have this table and chair that is also a vintage piece that I thrifted from a private collector. It's from Germany, and if I'm not wrong, it should be a master brewer chair in this very beautiful deep green leather finish. This cabinet here is our wine cabinet, and it's actually the latest addition to the house. It's a 1970s Danish corner cabinet, and we really love its details, like this little nugget brass knob hinge. It has some lock and key detail and all this single piece handle detail. Stores all our glasses, or rather Vincent's glasses. And on top here is a thrifted vintage clock from Penang. Here we have the Louis Poulsen Pentella floor lamp. So it's also a vintage piece, as you can see from the patina on its body, and this very cute old school light switch on the bottom. Behind it, you'll see our wine collection, and this table here was actually built by Vincent himself. He took some woodworking classes back when we first moved in, and I think we were very lucky to have found this wine rack of, once again, no surprise, Carousel. This is our open concept kitchen. The island is the heart of the kitchen. We do a lot of food prep here, or breakfast, coffee, teas, and washing all happens in this counter. Behind me is where we do our cooking, the stove area, and 6 years ago, terrazzo was actually a popular material, so we actually incorporated it into the stove area. On hindsight, I think we would have made a different decision, but it gives a different pop of color to the house. And you'll notice the kitchen is actually quite a different color scheme from the mid-century inspired living dining areas. The kitchen is actually a bit cooler with all these blue cabinets and the terrazzo as well. And as we move to the back of the kitchen, that's where Vincent's coffee setup is. As we come to the back of the kitchen, this is the laundry area and also Vincent's coffee station. This is his coffee setup, and above it is floating shelves that store a little bit of my ceramic collection and more of the Milac miniatures, but this is the laundry series. Just wanted to point out that these are some of my favorite lights in the house as well. This is a booby lamp from Carl Hansen, but I actually had to ship it in because the local Carl Hansen actually doesn't carry this design. So we got them in a pair, and it casts a very gentle glow on the island, and its shape is very organic, so I really love it. The island also serves as extra seating. Here I have our vintage donut stool, so I call it a donut because it's slightly thicker in profile, and it's from Japan as well. I got it from AA Furniture.
Okay, I'm back. It's finally my turn again. So this spot, which is behind the island, we did not want to put in anything permanent, and we did not want like a full height cabinet because we don't want the space to feel too oppressive. Instead, we opted for a pantry cabinet that's been built out. We feel that this suits the space better, and it's got all the right styling cues with the island. Up here, you'll see a huge collection of liquor that I've gotten over the years. A lot of them are for making cocktails because that's what I got into during COVID. And the collection just started growing because I wanted to make certain cocktails that require certain aperitifs. And so it just kept on going from there. At this corner, you see some cocktail apparatus. We've got some measuring cups and a shaker and all the tools that we need. We also have some cocktail books here that have either been given by friends or something that we have purchased while we are out traveling. I've also been collecting cocktail glasses over the years. They are something that I slowly collected after knowing what sizes that I wanted for certain cocktails. So far like this, it's really for old-fashioned. And some of the cocktails that you shake and serve without ice, it goes into this little coupe glass that has just the perfect size for it. And for the last corner of the house, we have this little workroom that is quite simple, it's quite basic. We intentionally tried not to overkit the place. So it's just got a very simple work desk that we thrifted from Carousel. I think the noteworthy piece in this room is really this lamp. It's called the Cartel Tube, and this was thrifted by Geraldine recently as well. So this is the work setup. You'll see that I've got quite a number of things on the table now because I'm actually packing to travel for the next 2 weeks. There are quite a number of things here, but I'm still trying to decide what to bring and what not to include in the packing. Right in this corner is actually my very first guitar that has been with me since my days in Malacca. So that was our little home tour. A lot of the pieces that you have seen in the house, they are not something that we bought overnight as soon as we move into the house. They are all collected throughout our home ownership of, I would say, about 6 to 7 years at the moment. And especially Geraldine, she finds real joy in being able to look for all this stuff over time. It's a bit like a hunting journey, and that I feel is what illuminates your home journey. For sure, it's easy to be able to just buy something off the shelf on day one to fill up the entire space of the house. But for us, we feel that there's really nothing to look forward to if you have already filled everything on day one. And maybe it doesn't tie our personality into the house as much. So we do recommend that you move into your house first and take your time, see what you really need from the house, what you really want at each corner of the space before you jump the gun. I think this was a good contrast in showing our lifestyle compared to the previous video where we were talking about our bikes. So thank you everyone for joining us in today's home vlog. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments about home, about furniture, or just the lifestyle that we have. For those of you who are still sticking around, this is a little bonus content. It's my birthday next week, but we won't be in Singapore, so Geraldine decided to surprise me with a birthday dinner at Kinky in Customs House. We have been here once a couple years back, and remember the food was really good. The people working here were all really friendly too. Lucky for us today, we managed to get a table with a good view of the marina and MBS. They recommended to us a whole golden bream for $60, and it comes with quite a number of servings of sashimi and sushi. This was really fresh and we love it a lot. We had a couple other items that were generally quite good as well. Then later on, they surprised us with a slice of cake and a candle. This place may be a little bit pricey, but in terms of food and the view that you can get here, I think it's okay if you are coming here to celebrate an event. If you have enjoyed our content today, do give us a like and subscribe for more future videos. Have a good one guys, see ya!